Hey guys, Deathletter Magic here, and the wonderful Pro Tour 25 or whatever the hell they're calling it, where they added Legacy and Modern for no fucking reason. They put people on teams and shit because it's easier to cheat if you're on a team. You can share information illegally and stuff. It was a disaster. It was a complete and utter disaster for one simple reason. I mean, one, nothing changed at all. I mean, it's just the same stupid toxic bullshit that you've been seeing online and at F&M. Two, I'm sure like 37 people are going to get caught by Reddit like by tomorrow cheating and stuff, on camera. And it turns out they were cheating for 10 years and Wizards ain't going to do anything about it. They're just going to sweep it under the rug. I'm sure we're about to hit that. But third, there's a third reason, and it's Nexus of Fate. Remember that card? It's a buy a box promo. So let's look at the progression of this, because remember, I've made one video saying it was an incredibly positive decision and one saying it was an absolutely negative decision, and I made them at different times, and I was completely right about both of them. So first, it was, I believe, a double standard showdown pack. So it was a standard showdown pack, which is usually worth like $20-something, but it was like double the cards packed into it. It was called a buy a box promo pack, and it was pretty nice. I mean, it was worth a lot of money, like 35 plus or something. At least that's what I was seeing them blind on eBay. But yeah, it was all like rares and mythics and foils. You could pull some serious stuff out of those. So I mean, this was smart. I said it was absolutely brilliant when they did this, and I stand by it. It was probably the best way to get people to buy product from local gaming stores, which is good because every other action Wizards has taken has completely screwed over local gaming stores lately. So I guess they felt it necessary to do something. What I would have done is solve the problem by taking sports and more and saying, hey, you know how you sell like 5 to 10,000 boxes online for like $78? Fuck you. You pull that shit again, we'll sue you. We'll find a reason. We will ruin your whole fucking life. Fuck off, you toxic piece of shit. Oh, and then limit the supply to Card Kingdom and Channel Fireball, obviously. That would have been the actual solution. If everybody online sells out and then you send double the product to the local gaming stores, guess what? Oh, and maybe shut the fuck up about Mass Drop and Walmart. Maybe do that too. But instead of solving the problem, they sidestepped it with this honestly pretty clever idea of let's, take it where it's like, oh, 80, 85 bucks online for a box, or, 100, 110, 120 at a local gaming store. Cool, buy it at an LGS and you get a whole pack worth, 30, 40 bucks. Well, would you look at that? That's the price difference. It worked. LGS has sold a ton of boxes, and the whole you can buy exactly one box at the pre-release thing, that was huge, because online sellers, if they get caught sending out sealed product even a day early, Wizards will find them. They actually give a shit about that, unlike anything else. So those two moves, brilliant, but then they moved on to those stupid Minotaurs that nobody wanted. So they went from a blind pack that could be worth, not much, it could be worth a ton. It's a fun little gamble, but it's like infinitely better than a normal pack. And you could just sell the pack blind on eBay, and I mean, you're going to get the rares and mythics you needed. Or some for trade. You're probably not going to get the ones you needed. Either way, it was smart, and then they went from a pack to one stupid card. And they're like, yeah, it's standard legal, it has Brawl in Mind, cool, people played it, wonderful. I think the card was like $4 or something, I don't know. I don't think it ever even cleared 10. It was not enough. Unless somebody wanted it as a collector, they weren't going to buy a box, and honestly, it was so low they could just buy the damn card. It had almost no impact on box sales. So it failed miserably, and what I think Wizards did was they said, okay, we need to put a better card out. I guess they're done doing packs, and oh, if you're wondering about that, why would Wizards of the Coast possibly switch from a blind pack with a bunch of good crap in it to a single card? Why would they possibly think that that's an improvement, and then it fell flat on its face and failed? It's because there was nothing indicating that the cards were in a special pack. If your LGS got 40 of them, and they opened 20, gave out the other 20, and said, we sold out, sorry. Okay, nobody's any the wiser, whatever. You don't really know. Most people don't know how many Wizards sends. And then whatever singles you pulled from them, you put them all up on TCG Player, Card Shark, eBay, whatever. If you're hurting for money because, hello, you're an LGS that sells Magic products, you're getting kicked in the nuts this year, and then they hand you a whole bunch of stuff worth like 30, 40, 45, 50 bucks, or whatever the hell the packs got up to. You sell the packs on eBay, you're getting caught, okay? I mean, maybe if Wizards decides to give a shit, you're getting caught. I mean, probably nobody got caught. So people were just ripping them off, not giving them to the customers, and it was too easy. They pulled a bunch of mythics, foils, and rares and sold them, or even sold them in store. So instead of put a special stamp on those cards because that's too difficult, they just converted it to some dumpy card, and then they're fast forward to now, they're like, okay, we got to make it something better. Nexus of Fate, okay. As far as I've heard, and it's not like I've seen every deck in every format ever, so pardon me if I'm missing one, this is the very best extra turn card ever printed. I'm just kidding, it's Time Walk, but this is the second best, and this is actually played and not banned in everything. Oh, you think I'm kidding? Legacy banned, Commander banned, Vintage restricted. or as I like to call it, banned. So it's the best extra turn card that's actually legal because it's not sorcery speed and it goes back in the library instead of exiling itself. That is huge. So this was such a gimme card. They're just like, yeah, make it cost 7 because, you know, then it only goes in specific stuff. Nobody's going to just throw that in a random deck. I mean, spending 7 mana on an extra turn is stupid. Ooh, you get an extra combat phase and you could use your Planeswalker abilities twice. So what? You just wasted all your mana, like unless you had 30 mana and you did something productive with it, which then just win the game. But no, they knew that an extra turn in Go Infinite deck would run this. It's an automatic replacement in those decks. You could restructure them, it would be more likely to go off, you could make this redundant with another card, and boom, you've got a better deck. So everybody who runs that deck will want this card. And it comes out, it's what, 15, 20 bucks? Maybe a little bit higher depending upon where you looked. Yay, good for them. They took a card that nobody wants in Standard and is virtually unplayable in Standard, and it already has an existing like player base and customer demand in other formats. Cool, problem solved. Fast forward to the Pro Tour. Uh-oh. 9 decks. 2.88% of the meta, according to MTG Goldfish's usually wrong stats. Or I should say, the way they count it is just stupid. 9 of these were at the Pro Tour, I guess. I think that's how they count it. I don't know. They don't explain any of this shit. 9 people are running not just blue-white control, because remember, this card is all about I need to get my Planeswalker's ults off, and I need to stop my opponent from doing anything. So let me just explain the deck and the situation here. When way the hell too many sets are legal in Standard, you start seeing the same archetypes. You get mono, white, literally anything, and it's actually good. You get blue-white control, you get green, just absolute all-in creature rush super ramp, which is huge right now. I hate that deck. You get mono red rush, which normally would just be a stupid gimmick or a, you know, welcome deck at the open house, but now it's actually realistic because you have so damn many options. You can get a tight, perfect, you know, red consistent deck list. And then you get stuff like Turbo Fog and Mill, honestly. I mean, you throw a couple Mill cards in every single set, and then you get 8 sets, and ta-da, there's a Mill deck. I mean, not exactly at the Pro Tour, it's just, I see it online, it's playable. So you get these really, really recurring, kind of toxic deck archetypes. I mean, Turbo Fog is hyper toxic. Blue-white control, ultra toxic, and Super Friends, that's another one you get when there's too many sets legal. And all those are at least played, they're competitive, people win with them a little bit online. I mean, they're not completely impossible. But this one specifically, Turbo Fog, was at the Pro Tour and it did quite well. Oh wait, no, they're saying 9 people combined in multiple tournaments are using this. Or maybe they're throwing in MTGO. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of people playing it. Let's put it that way. Now that it's public and it's on everybody's radar, a lot more people are going to be playing it. That's all you need to know about its popularity. It is gonna shoot up. So what is Turbo Fog? Well, the card Fog is like prevent all combat damage or something like that. Prevent all damage this turn or whatever. So blue-white control is all about let's wipe the board, pin this down, counter this, stop this, you know, whatever. Just shut down your opponent with mostly creature-based control. And, you know, maybe they could slip one through. Maybe they could flood you. Maybe they could make you discard. Yeah, there's some stuff you can do. I've beaten blue-white control. We've all beaten it. You run a fast enough deck or a resilient enough deck or something where they got to kill everything twice or counter everything twice. You're gonna win. It's obnoxious, it's very good, but it's beatable. But Turbo Fog is, hey, have all the creatures on the battlefield you want. You can do literally anything. I don't care because your creatures can't do damage for the entire rest of the game. Anytime you swing, you can't hit me, and you can't hit the Planeswalkers I control. And even if you do, I start at 20. You really think you're going to hit me that many times? No. If I slip up once, or I don't leave enough mana open, or I don't draw the right card, I'm just going to scry 8 the next turn, pull a Fog card, and you're not going to hit me again. That's what Turbo Fog does. So this particular instance of standard Turbo Fog is Planeswalker-based. It's all about Planeswalker alts. In fact, Nissa is the win condition. Nissa's ult is turn 2 lands into flying 5/5s and slam them into your opponent's face. And, well, there's actually 3 win conditions. That's 1. 2 is Karn, because he can technically bring out golems. They'd be really, really, really small. Oh, no, they're constructs. Whatever. And the 3rd win condition is your opponent just getting absolutely fed up with it, raging out, flipping the table, and punching you in the face, which results in a disqualification. So those are the 3 most common win conditions for this deck, and it's pretty narrow. All the rest is Fog, Control, and like Scry Draw. Wow, sounds like a fun deck. I'd love to play against it. Hashtag make magic fun again. Turbo Fog is my shit. God, every time I sit down at FNM, I hope silently to myself, oh, my opponent better be playing Turbo Fog. That's such a fun match. It makes me want to come back and keep playing Magic. I hope they make Turbo Fog into a cereal so that at breakfast I can pour it into my bowl, put some milk on it, and just eat that delicious Turbo Fog goodness. Fuck this deck. This deck should never be a thing. 8 sets should never be legal, and this level of control spam horse shittery should never be possible. They damn well better fucking ban something from this, and the worst part about it is Nexus of fucking Fate. This deck would be... It would just have a little bit of a defect rate, a little bit of a slight narrow chance of falling apart if it wasn't for a full fucking playset of Nexus of Fate, okay? It's a 7-cost instant, it goes back to your library, and at a certain point your library is so damn thin, you can consistently scry or draw into it with Nissa or Karn, or really any other thing in the deck. I mean, anticipate, whatever, it's all in there. You can just cast it over and over and over until your planeswalkers just gain double loyalty. And speaking of double loyalty, Oath of Teferi is in there too, where you can activate the loyalty abilities of planeswalkers twice. Woo! Oh, and it's commonly used to flicker a fucking planeswalker. You know, so that you can negative something them and then regenerate all of their loyalty. And then use their ability again. And then use their ability again. Remember, you use Karn's ability, drop in Oath, flicker Karn, use his ability, and then, oh look, Oath is out. You can use abilities twice, and then use his ability again. Absolute fucking bullshit. So if you're wondering what the fog part is, it's Haze of Pollen, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn, and then Cycling 3 too on top of it, and then Root Snare, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. They both cost 2, they're both instant speed, and they're both 1 green, 1 generic, which makes them insanely easy to cast. So the rest of this, you know, you got the scry, the draw from the planeswalkers, you got anticipate, hate that fucking card. Beneath the Sands is just a mana fixer. I thought that was an odd inclusion. Search for Azcanta, that should have been banned a long time ago. Gift of Paradise, that's just ramp and stall. There's actually surprisingly little like draw and scry in there. It's just planeswalkers. But yeah, get to the point already. I mean, it's planeswalkers, that's what you do. You just activate their abilities over and over and over. But there's 4 Nexus of Fates. That's the problem. So that card, when it came out, people were like, nah, it ain't gonna win standard. It's not even gonna make it to a standard deck. 7 mana to take an extra turn, that's bullshit. That's barely worth it if you can clone the damn spell. By the way, I'm sure that won't be the next thing that people do with it. But yeah, I mean, you can prevent all combat damage 8 times in a game. I mean, if you drew every single one of these, but it sounds like not a lot. You look at this deck list and you're like, well, this can't possibly win anything. Oh, it can win some stuff. The deck's between $550 and $615 at the moment and going up because Nexus of Fate is upwards of the low 40s right now. And since literally nothing can beat this deck, I mean nothing, there is not a deck that can beat this deck, it doesn't exist. I mean, oh, red non-creature direct spell only burn, that would beat this deck. Good luck with that because everybody's playing that right now. I mean, you could maybe mill them out. Maybe name jam them to death or hand disrupt them until everything falls apart and then just beat them with some crappy black creature. I mean, there's a couple obscure archetypes that nobody's playing that would beat this, but that's it. So 4 Teferis in this deck, that's $140. 2 Karns, that's about 70. 2 Nissas, that's surprisingly only about $10. I always thought she was worth more than that. And I don't know, the rest of it's kind of crap, but Nexus of Fate is $180 right now. Search for Azcanta, because that's in literally everything, is like $53 for 3 of them. And the whole, like, even the land base probably adds up to like $50 tops. That's a little messed up in a 3-color deck, don't you think? So I would talk about the sideboard, because that'll just make you sick to your ass, but this isn't about the deck, this is about the card. Wizards fucked up. This is disastrous levels of fucked uppery. I made that term up myself. Now people actually want it. So the intention, I'm sure, was, okay, sell it to some modern and commander people, cool, infinite combo, extra turn, whatever. It's money, and people are going to buy boxes, and it'll stay out of standard because it costs 7. Who the hell could possibly play this? And it gets returned to the library, so you can't torrential gear hulk it. Guys, people are torrential gear hulking. Settle the fucking wreckage, okay? Every spell can be cast twice in standard right now. Just assume that right off the bat. So this is already in one, I'd say tier 1 deck. I can't imagine what could possibly reasonably beat this that's popular right now. Maybe Red Rush. Maybe. Probably not. They don't mainboard Settle or Fumigate though, which I thought was really weird. But whatever, the whole point is, like, you just fog them so damn many times, and then you Planeswalker ult and you win. It's actually a pretty fast deck for a control deck, which is surprising. I think that's why people are losing to it. They're used to Approach of the Second Sun, where you're on turn 30 by the time they win. So if this makes it into another deck, it'll probably be, I don't know, $100 a card. I mean, how high did Jace get? 80? If it's a good enough card and people put it in enough things and it wins enough times, people are going to drop, that's right, $600 on this deck and bring it to F&M to win $10 worth of prizes. Because people are fucking stupid. Remember, net deckers are shallow, immature people who think that winning at a game is going to gain them the respect of everybody else, even though all they see is just disdain, resentment, and just people talking shit when they lose. In their sick, twisted minds, because I guess their mommy didn't hug them enough or something, they need to win at a card game every single week, and they will spend money they don't even fucking have to do it. And somehow, oh, look at how great of a Magic player I am. I could copy somebody else's deck off the internet and come ruin everybody's good time at F&M with it. Wow, look at everybody silently respecting me. Yeah, they're gonna respect you till you take a fucking chair to the face, you fucking asshole. Fuck net deckers. Anyone bringing this deck, this Turbo Fog deck or any variant of it, to F&M is a sick, fucked up mental patient. When you have to drop 6 bills on this shit to win insignificant prizes, not even get your money out of it, and have nobody have a good time, there is something wrong with you. I mean, bring it to a fucking Pro Tour. You win, what, 50 grand? Yeah, go for it. But F&M, totally different. But since, I don't know, what, a quarter, a third of all players are net decking douches who will just be like, wow, nothing beats this, and a chimpanzee could run it. There's literally no decisions in this entire fucking deck. Which is why people run Red Rush. Cool, I'm gonna run it. Oh, Nexus of Fate costs what? I don't care, I'm a net decker. I will spend any amount of money to pretend that people respect me. And that's why they have, like, rage out blow-ups. Like, it could be an entire series on YouTube if people just get their fucking phones out and film it. And that happens when there's a mirror match. Because when it's a mirror match, how dare you run my deck? I know, the irony is palpable. And then, oh, this is a boring mirror match. This shouldn't happen. Wizards, fix it. You fucking caused it. You and your kind fucking caused it, so fuck off. Yeah, go enjoy your little goblin tokens versus goblin tokens, or your black devotion versus black devotion, where basically whoever goes first wins. Those were fun standard metas. Everybody had fun with that one. Those are the 2 times where I saw the highest amount of mirror matches. More than 50% of people at my LGS were playing that. So yes, the deck is toxic. It's a result of 8 sets being legal. Wizards fucked up again. Standard is a joke, and Standard's been shit for a year and a half. Big surprise, not news. Let's talk about Nexus, because Nexus was the most avoidable part of this. And honestly, without the bonus turns, I don't think this deck would be nearly as good. It would be obnoxious, but it wouldn't be like tier 1. You take extra turns with Oath of Teferi on the field, you're just gonna win. I mean, you cast this and just simply win. I'm surprised this doesn't run 1 copy of Approach, by the way, speaking of that. Well, the math on it's pretty tight, actually, already. But yeah, oops, somebody took your Modern-only, Commander-only, Legacy-only deck or card or whatever, and they put it in Standard and won with it. Now what? What they should have said is this isn't legal and standard. It's just a promo. It's highly sought after for other formats. It's probably going to be $15-20. Leave it at that. Not just, oh, we'll make it standard legal because, you know, they're buying a box of standard. Why would we give them a non-legal card? Oh, yeah, because nobody at F&M wanted a Path to Exile promo. No, nobody wanted that. Everybody only plays standard. Yeah, sure, Wizards. No, they had to pretend like this was a playable card, so that people would be like, oh, maybe I'll find a deck to put it in. Extra turns, how neat. And I'm sure they were sitting back thinking, well, nobody will actually do it. Newsflash, there's 8 sets legal. People can do whatever the fuck they want. The deck archetypes that you can build is only limited by your imagination at this point because it sure as fuck isn't limited by the card pool. You think I'm kidding? There are 1,923 cards legal right now. Just short of 2,000 cards are legal right now. You can build anything. You could build an extra turn Planeswalker Super Friends Control Fog deck. You would have told me that before the release of M19, I would have called you crazy. But, well, here we are. So yeah, it's going to come down to basically, oh, if you want to compete in Standard with one of the top, 2 decks, top 3 decks, whatever, you're going to need to buy these Nexuses of Fates, and they're going up by like $1 every half day. Wait, no, it's actually even higher. Jeez, it spiked like $10 since 2 days ago. It's going to hit Jace prices. And then, how do you fix this? Okay, besides not doing it in the future or taking the Goblin Chain Whirler way out, which Wizards was like, yeah, it's broken, everybody hates it, but we're just going to wait 2.5 months. Like, literally, they gave no actual reason for not banning that card. They're like, everybody hates it, it's toxic, Red Rush is back, we had to ban it once, and now it's twice as powerful as it was before, but it cycles out in 3 months. Like, that was their reason, was just like, oh, just don't play Magic for 3 months. It's going to be a total shit show. Fantastic, thanks for that. So not only are they not going to ban Nexus or Teferi or Karn or whatever, any card in here, Anticipate would be nice. A Search for Azcanta would be nicer. When you ban Anticipate, people just play Glimmer. They're just not going to ban anything because they're like, okay, let's just, it's 8 weeks, it's 8 FNMs, or 9, or 10, whatever, I don't know. I don't know when Guilds of Ravnica comes out, and I don't care. I'm sure it'll be shit, and they'll pull some shenanigan bullshit like this and make like a, you win the game for 0 mana, and it's a buy a box promo. Fuck you. Like literally the card will just be called fuck you. You attach it to target opponent, and then you win the game for 0 mana, colorless. I should stop giving them ideas. I feel like at this point they would actually do that. So yeah, not a fan of the meta right now, but they're not going to touch it. But okay, let's go the other way. What if they did solve this? Because what if this becomes, well, I've heard numbers thrown around about this has an 80 to 85% win rate against everything that's popular right now. So this is the deck. I mean, remember at the modern GPs after Eldrazi, about 62% of people were playing Eldrazi. Eldrazi had like a, I don't know, 60, mid 60 something % win rate against the field, I think. It was just too fast for all that gimmicky bullshit like Affinity and Storm. But like Jund had enough removal. Anyway, if this beats 85% of everything else, or it has an 85% win rate overall against other decks, oh, play this or go home. I mean, that's what this is. You if somebody's playing this, you might as well not even fucking shuffle. Because they won. Congratulations. The pay-to-win asshole net decker just beat you with their credit card. Wonderful. I suggest beating them with the closest piece of furniture. Just kidding. That was a joke. Don't actually do that. Although at my old LGS, we did have somebody get pissed off that they lost when they felt like they shouldn't have, drop in round 1, and then go damage the person's vehicle. Little LGS from Hell mini story there. Oh, and it was one of the net deckers. They just really felt entitled to win. I've never heard of that attitude before. Have you guys ever experienced that? That's so foreign to me. What the fuck even is that? Must have been a fluke. Must have been an anomaly. So yeah, this is just going to come down to you run this deck or you lose. I mean, and Nexus will be $100 fucking a piece, and people will be dropping $1,000 just to win because they're fucking crazy. That'll be fun. So if they have to step in and ban it, they're gonna ban Nexus of Fate, which at the time will be the most expensive card of the deck because, oh, that's right, they made an artificially low amount of them. I estimate that they printed, I think it was like 200,000 of these, and somebody told me I was way off on my standard booster box print volume. So I think there's 4 times less of this card than an average Mythic, or something like that. Yeah, everybody needs 4 of them for this deck, and it's 4 times rarer than a Mythic. That's not good. See, a standard is going to be completely fucked if anybody shows up with this, and everybody's going to feel obligated to do it. You go online, this is all you're going to see. It's just going to ruin everything, and if they ban something from it, they will destroy so much money. But just think about that. This is why I think they should do this. They should ban it. They should ban almost everything in this fucking deck. You know what? If you're going to screw these people over, ban Search for Azcanta and Karn and Teferi and Nexus of Fate. That'll teach them a lesson. Anybody who built this deck deserves to lose every penny that they put into it. I would not listen to or acknowledge or feel bad for any of the complaints or anything negative that happens from anything in this deck getting banned. If you took your hard-earned money and built any kind of blue-white or, blue-white-green mix turbo fog control spam approach, no win condition, and any of that shit that this archetype has been, you deserve to lose all your money, and everything bad in life should happen to you and only you. You are everything that's wrong with Magic and standard play and casual play and FNM, all embodied in a person. So anybody's saying, I just spent $400 on my Nexus of Fate and they just banned the deck. Yeah, I was winning with it. I only got to play with it for 2 weeks. Well, boo freaking who? Maybe you should run a $50 deck and win $100 in prizes with it like I do. Or just run a more polite deck. I don't care what the power level of the deck is as long as I feel like I have a chance to win against it. Taking extra turns literally doesn't let your opponent play the game at all. They just sit there and watch you play the game. If I wanted to do that, I'd head over to Twitch. So yeah, it would be disastrous, but here's why I think they would do it. Those people would quit Magic. They'd be like, this is the last straw. I bought a Smuggler's Copter and they banned it, which I don't blame anybody. That card was colorless. It went in every deck. Everybody got hit by that one, okay? Except for the cheapo motherfuckers like me that just build some cheap janky shit and win with that. Oh, then they banned Marvel. If you were playing that, you're an asshole. Oh no, you lost money on Marvel. Oh no. The Blue-White Spirits, if you're playing that, you were an asshole. That deck was toxic as fuck. I mean, if you got hit by most of, if not all, the ban cycles in the last year and a half or whatever, You deserved it. Stop building those decks. Stop being an asshole. I mean, those decks were broken. Why the fuck do you think that they banned them? They were deemed to be too powerful and not fair and not fun in the meta. And you built all of them. Everybody hates you. Nobody wants to play Magic with you. And if this is the last straw where you just lost $400 fucking dollars on Nexus of Fate or Teferi, Karn, whatever they removed from this deck, good. Go play a different game. You're not welcome in our community. Do I need to repeat it? Do I need to speak slower for your stupid fucking netdecker brain? So yes, let them all whine and cry on Reddit and storm off, wah, 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 I'm gonna go play Hearthstone. Fuck you, Hearthstone is a netdecking paradise. Just go fuck off and play that game. So to say the community, the players will get mad if they destroy that much money, first of all, anybody with their brain anywhere other than up their own ass knows to sell these fucking cards right now. If you don't, I just told ya. If they're in a deck, you're an asshole. It's really that simple. If Teferi is in your deck, fuck you. So either sell it now so you can shut up later, or stop playing such toxic shit. You're the type of person that's causing the problem. So if they were to ban anything in this, it affects absolutely nobody. I mean, maybe the card sellers, the single sellers, dumb enough to buy these on a buy list, because right now I'd be buying Nexus of Fate for about $10. Anyone paying more than that is an idiot because, well, this whole deck's going to cycle out in like 2 months anyway, and also, they're probably about to ban it. So I do not feel bad for anybody who loses money in a ban. I mean, unless you just traded for it because it was a good trade and it was in your binder, and then the very next day they ban it. Okay, whatever. Pretty obscure, minuscule situation there. Just get over it. Anyone else, the biggest whiners and people who rage over all these ban decisions and say it's all wrong and Wizards is out to get them, it's unfair and blah, blah, blah. Let them quit the game. Let them rage quit. I don't give a shit. We don't want them. We don't need them. It seems like a lot more people than it is because they're loud as fuck on the internet because they got vented somewhere because everybody at F&M tells them to shut up because they hated them anyway. And that is the truth. So absolutely they need to ban something from this fucking deck, and if they really wanted to drive the point home and just get rid of these toxic fucking members of the community, they would ban Nexus of Fate. Or if they wanted their heads to explode, also ban and search for Azcanta and Karn and Teferi. I think some netdecking douchebags would actually need legitimate like therapy and mental help if they actually did that. They wouldn't even think that the real world is real anymore at that point. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. I mean, that's the situation. That's how it happened, why it happened, what I think they should do about it. Don't buy any cards in this deck, sell every damn one of them, and can't wait to see what Withers. Let's go with that. Let's see what Withers of the Coast does about it. I need to go get some sleep. Fuck this whole situation. I'll see you guys next video.